when she saw her old 4Runner parked where she'd left it. Harper hadn't taken her SUV. Alyssa sagged against the door jamb. Snow had fallen the previous evening while she was at work, and there were no other new footprints in front of the cabin except her own. Harper hadn't gone out the front door. Alyssa closed the door and turned around. So where was Harper? And where were Alyssa's wallet and keys? She returned to her backpack. Maybe she'd put her keys in a different pouch. She'd been tired after work. She inspected each section, then checked her coat pockets. No keys, no wallet. She took out her cell phone and turned it on. She could only charge it at work or in her car, and tried to conserve the battery. Besides, she only used the phone to contact work or text Harper. When they were together, there was no reason to keep the phone on. The phone came to life, but she saw no texts or missed calls. She shoved the phone into her pocket. She didn't want to believe that Harper had betrayed her. It had been Harper's idea that they travel as a pair. The whole point of sticking together was to have each other's backs. It didn't feel right that she would have left without saying a word. Alyssa replayed their last conversation in her mind. Harper had given no indication that she wanted to leave. She'd said the cabin was the best spot she'd slept in all winter. She'd gathered enough firewood to last for days, but there was no one else here who could have taken Alyssa's things. Teary-eyed, she repacked her bag. She needed the key to her vehicle or she was stranded. Why had Harper taken the keys but left the 4Runner? What the actual fuck? It made no sense. Harper was street smart. She wouldn't come up with such a dumb plan. Maybe the plan wasn't the issue. Maybe she hadn't left yet. Alyssa could possibly still catch her. She set aside the pack and strode to the window overlooking the backyard. 50 feet of ground separated the cabin from the surrounding woods. Alyssa squinted into the darkness at the area they designated as their bathroom, behind a group of fir trees. A figure moved at the edge of the trees. Harper? Anger blurred Alyssa's vision. She hurried to the back door. Think you can steal my stuff? Think again. Opening it quietly, she slipped outside and jogged across the snow to the woods. She peered around a tree trunk, looking for the figure. She spotted the dark shape emerging from the trees near the lake. The figure wasn't carrying a backpack. Had Harper stashed it somewhere? What was she up to? Alyssa followed, keeping her distance, but also keeping the figure in sight. She'd walked maybe 100 feet when the silhouette turned toward her. The shape of the figure didn't feel like Harper. She was thin. This shape was too large, too wide, more masculine. Panic welled in Alyssa's chest. Could that be the campground owner, Phil? Someone could have seen smoke rising from the cabin's chimney and called him. The campground was closed. No one was supposed to be there. Maybe it was Phil, coming to chase them out of the cabin. That might be the reason Harper had run. Bitterness tasted sour in the back of her throat. If that scenario was true, then Harper had saved her own ass and left Alyssa to face Phil alone, and she'd still stolen from Alyssa. Bitch. Now what? If it was Phil, he was in pretty good shape, but he was old. She could probably outrun him. He retraced his steps, heading right for her. Phil? The man's posture wasn't annoyed or angry. He moved with intention. She ducked behind the tree and waited, holding her breath. A tiny sound croaked deep in her throat, as if something had broken. Pressing her back into the tree, she prayed he hadn't heard. The wind blew through the trees, kicking up snow dust. Where is he? Slowly, she peered around the tree trunk and froze. He was barely 30 feet away. She withdrew. Tears ran down her cheeks, feeling as if they were freezing on her face. Please don't find me. A footstep crunched in the snow. Was he closer? She risked another peek from behind the tree trunk. 2 blasts sounded over the snow, and fear